I'm Mark. Welcome to the Drummer's Guide to Business Efficiency. It feels like two very different worlds we're going to try and bring together today. The focus of this video, and my hope, is that I can demonstrate to you through drumming some of the ways that you can improve the efficiency and get more out of less back from your business. What am I talking about? So as a drummer, one of the most important aspects of my playing is to maintain your energy and stamina. Be in a place where you can still deliver the most musical, the most dynamic, the most appropriate performance for the song in a way which isn't burning you out. So you can play 2-3 hours a night. And then thinking about the analogy, moving that across to a small business. Perhaps if you're a small business owner, you've mapped out in front of you all the different aspects, elements, activities, actions that you need to take within that business. Is there a way of delivering those and reaping back the rewards from each of those actions that doesn't exhaust you? Is there a way of getting more out of less? That's the question I'm asking. And before we sort of dig into what that looks like, let me just kind of set two expectations, I guess, really. So if you're a drummer watching this and you're thinking, okay, he's talking about efficiency of technique, getting more from less, keeping check of your energy, he's probably going to be talking about Moeller. And yes, I am. I mean, the clues in the books that are kind of sat behind me, the Moeller technique, I am going to be talking about that. I'm not going to be demonstrating how to play Moeller. There are many, many videos out there by players who are far more capable of actually getting into the nitty-gritty of the actual technique itself. What I'm talking about is the principle of Moeller. Again, the idea, the sort of physics, the physiology behind the movements involved, again, to get more out of the energy you put in to your playing. And then equally from a business efficiency point of view, if you've tuned in thinking, great, he's going to give me tips on how to save time and make more money. Well, potentially yes, those are sort of indirect but very beneficial side effects of what it is I'm talking about. Really what I want to focus on is the emotional efficiency within your business. Again, if you're giving attention to various aspects of what it is you're trying to build, is there a way of bringing more results out of those actions, but also conserving some of your energy? Again, maintaining your stamina, topping up your tank. It's really about self-care. It's about making sure that you've still got something left to not only keep moving forward, but to have the kind of energy and joy from your business that allows you to continue to grow. I hope that makes sense. Let's get into it now. And we're going to start really with what bad looks like. So what does bad technique looks like? And I'm going to be over-exaggerating things here just to kind of make the point. But in terms of drumming, so lots of people who haven't sat behind a kit before or watched drummers think, great drummers are the guys that play really, really fast and really loud. Drumming's all about, volume and noise and really exciting and kind of, full of exuberance. Volume, or as I like to call it, dynamics, and speed are parts of playing. But if you get so focused on just noise and just speed, there is a risk, particularly if you've got bad technique. So let's just kind of dig into that. So speed, let's say you're gripping your stick, and you're trying to play as fast as you can. You give someone who hasn't sat behind a kit before a drumstick and say, hit the drum as many times as you can, as quickly as possible. That's what we're doing. This kind of thing. And you'll immediately notice, if you were to do that, your body kind of goes into self-defense mode. The first thing it does is tense up. This is your body trying to protect you. It's trying to get you to slow down, because if you keep that up for any kind of long period of time, you're going to hurt yourself. Your body's going through a trauma. If we think about the physics of it, Newton's second law, for every action there is an equal and opposite action. You're ploughing energy into that drum head. That energy is coming back somehow. And what tense you're getting, the tighter the grip on the stick, so that energy is flowing back into the stick. It's flowing into your hand, into your wrist, up your arm, into your shoulder. It is creating a trauma, and it's going to do damage. And it's kind of, it's kind of counter everything you're trying to achieve. You want to play faster, your body is trying to pull you back. So you're not going to play fast, and you could get hurt. And I'm sure you've heard the expression, no pain, no gain. Well, one of the greatest exponents of the Moeller technique, which we're going to get into, a chap called Jim Chapin, who wrote this book, Advanced Techniques for the Modern Drummer, famously said, if someone says to you, no pain, no gain, shoot them, because it's absolute rubbish. You can make plenty of gain without hurting yourself. And then sort of just touching on volume as well. Again, sit someone behind a kit, give them a pair of sticks, say play as loud as you can. And they're going to start swinging their arms, because obviously to hit that drum really hard, you've got to come down on it like a ton of bricks. Which means this massive range of movement, all the way up here, down there. Now as a drummer, trying to keep a steady beat, trying to keep things moving forward. The effort you have to put in to continuously move from up here to down there and back, and you're pulling the stick up. You're taking all of the energy, you're making all of the effort your own, just to keep things going. Again, you are going to burn out, you are going to exhaust yourself before the song's ended. Absolutely no good comes of that. So is there a way? And I'm not just talking about playing fast, I'm not just talking about playing loud, and I'll explain why. But is there a way of maintaining a technique that reduces the amount of energy you need to put in, but maximises the results you get out? This is the good stuff. So, efficiency. That's the kind of buzzword behind this. The definition of efficiency, what is it? It's achieving the greatest amount of useful work from the smallest amount of energy, effort and fuel put in. It's getting as much as possible from as little as possible. That's the definition of efficiency. And that's really the kind of heart and soul behind the Moeller technique. There was a drummer, Sanford Moeller, who was a teacher. We're talking sort of beginning of the 20th century. So Sanford Moeller was fascinated by the Civil War drummers in the States. These guys who played side drums, trad grip, I didn't play trad, just that one snare drum by their side. And he was just really drawn into the fact that these guys could play a significant volume. They're trying to play over the noise of a battle for very long periods of time. How are they maintaining that energy and stamina? And he put all his thoughts and kind of works into a book, The Art of Snare Drumming, which was published, I think, in the 1920s. And that book became the foundation of what became known as the Moeller technique. And what Moeller was kind of premising was this idea that rather than the body put all the effort and absorb all the energy, what if we can make the stick do more of the work? And he developed this whipping technique, which I'll kind of get into more in a second. But the idea was, so if I'm gripping the stick really hard and play the drum, again, as I said, all that energy is coming back into me. What if I let the stick breathe? What if I let physics take on some of the load? So again, Newton's second law, every action has an equal and opposite action. If I relax my grip, barely kind of holding it, just its fulcrum, when I strike the drum, the stick bounces up. The energy's been absorbed by the stick. It's not hurting me, the stick is raised. It's ready for the next beat. Take that one step further. If I let gravity get involved, strike, and the stick falls. Potentially I'm getting 2 beats from one movement. So I've doubled my efficiency. Then we start getting really clever. And this is where things get just a little bit beyond my ability. Okay, at the moment I'm just gripping the stick with that fulcrum, nothing else at play. Bang, bang. What if I bring in my fingers? Just to kind of control that bounce. So it's not about the rebound, it's an element of control. I'm in charge, but I'm not absorbing that energy. Then as I kind of bring the stick back up, ready for the next beat, I bring my fingers in, I'm getting 3 beats. 3 beats for one exertion of energy. All I'm doing, stick bounces up, stick bounces down, catching it with my fingers. Very exaggerated kind of visual there. Then it gets really, really, really clever, and this is totally beyond me, because you've got more than one finger there. And this is where you're getting into Buddy Rich territory, or there's a young guy called Grayson Recruitment, check him out, phenomenal. This is where, if you imagine drumming your fingers, what if, as you're catching that tap, you can play 1, 2, 3 more beats? Then we're talking nonsense world, essentially. But suddenly I've gone from 1 exertion of effort to 3 results. And that's exciting, because I've tripled my output without adding to the input. There's kind of 2 ways of looking at this. Am I getting 3 times as much drumming or music from the 1 exertion, or am I getting the same amount of music from a third of the exertion? It really doesn't matter. The point is, through good technique, and it comes with a lot of practice, because controlling those bounces and that tap, it's not easy, but controlling that, suddenly things start opening up. Now you might be thinking, okay, we started this talking about speed, and suddenly getting 3, there's 4 there, nice quick beats, so suddenly I can play fast. Speed is not what this is about. This is about precision, and it's about control, and it's about, as I say, getting more back from putting less in. But if you can master and control what you're getting from that single movement, suddenly everything else opens up. With that precision, with that control, can come dynamic. So again, thinking about volume. I'm not playing from all the way up here with this whipping motion, we'll come back to. I can play fast, I can play loud, I can play softly. Essentially, there's not much difference in the energy that I'm putting in. But everything else is open up to me, because I'm not suddenly leaning in from the shoulder down, all this energy that I'm exerting. Everything else is, there's a fluency. There's a fluency, there's a musicality. Remember, drumming is about the song. You know, you're not just keeping the beat, you're adding value in terms of, again, that dynamic, that musicality. You're trying to help the rest of the band. And if you're just focused and exerting energy in a very kind of singular way, you can't do any of that. Suddenly, you're relaxed, you've got that fluidity, things get exciting. What's that got to do with business efficiency? Okay, before we make that leap, I'm hoping you're kind of getting the point in terms of getting more back from less. But I talked there about musicality. Coming back to your small business and the song that you're trying to play through that business, because you could take your time and really develop that technique and get fantastic at squeezing more beats out of less energy and being able to move around the kit and having that fluency and having that musicality and the dynamics and so on. But if it doesn't have a purpose, it becomes questionable. So what is your business purpose? That's kind of point number 1 to this. Why? What is important to you about your business, and why? Because that's the song you're trying to write. Technique without musicality, this is slightly subjective, I'll be honest, but technique without musicality has less value. There are drummers who are ridiculous with their technique. I mean, they're playing 4 different things at the same time on each limb. You know, they've almost turned it into a mathematical equation. I remember one guy talking about how he's developed this sort of matrix technique, you know, where he's got kind of grids which each limb's playing something different. Fascinating, brilliant. I can't get anywhere near it. But does anyone else want to listen to that, other than perhaps other drummers? What is the value of the service or that technique that he's developed? What is that providing? So my first question to you is, what is the song you're trying to write with your business? Because then we start getting not only into technique, but we start building your drum kit. So thinking about the instruments in front of you. If you can now play them comfortably, and you've got that idea, that feeling of how much energy you should be putting in to get the most out, the question there is, where do you place that energy? What does your business shape look like? You've probably got, you know, the core elements of your business, which in this instance, you know, is your bass drum, your snare and your hats. You know, but what else do you need to add the colour, the musicality, the vibrancy? How many toms are you going to need? How many symbols? Are there any sort of special effects that you want to bring in to make your business voice unique, to really celebrate what it is that you're trying to share and give to the world? Because that's where the magic starts to happen. Suddenly you've got this phenomenal instrument and you're able to focus on the elements, the actions, the core values, the goals that are most relevant and most important to you. I can't sit here and I can't tell you the best way to be efficient in your business, because it's your business, it's your song, and you know which elements, ingredients, instruments will make the most difference, and therefore which ones you need to give the most attention to. And I know a lot of what I'm saying feels quite intangible, so let's kind of bring it back to something that hopefully feels a bit more tangible. Let's say one of the core ingredients of your business is your marketing strategy. For the purposes of demonstration, your hi-hat is your marketing strategy. And it's ticking along nicely, consistently. It's working, got a nice feel to it. But just look at my physicality of my body. 2 out of my 4 limbs are focused on marketing. My body is shying away from the rest of the activities, elements, values, goals, whatever you want to call them, in my business. So suddenly, if my technique is there, the rest of the kit is open to me. And that's when things get interesting, because suddenly I can mix my marketing strategy with something else, my social media content, whatever, like I say, it's your story, it's your business, it's your song. But things suddenly get very exciting. And again, in terms of the energy I'm putting into my business, I'm not suddenly exhausting myself on one element. I'm putting in the right amount of energy to get the result I need, whilst maintaining the ability to look at other aspects of my business. What else is it I need to be doing? Because again, as a small business owner, solopreneur perhaps, someone who's on their own, someone who has responsibility for every single instrument in front of them, how easy is it to burn out, to put too much energy into that one thing? And this comes back to that idea of emotional efficiency, conserving something so that at the end of the day, you've still got more to give for tomorrow. You can play the rest of the set, but also you've got some joy, you've got some reward, you've got something that kind of keeps you going. Because running a business is tough, it is going to get tiring, but it's a lot more fun when you're moving around all the different aspects of your business, all of them adding value without draining you. So you've still got that ability to top up your tank. So that was the Drummer's Guide to Business Efficiency. I hope you found it useful. Please like, share, comment. I'd love to hear from you. Welcome your thoughts and so on and so forth. What does your business backbeat look like? What is the rhythm you're trying to create? What is the song you're trying to give to the world? Get out there, play, have fun, enjoy. Thank you for watching.